Yo, it's your boy Dctree, and this is Dctree-Nation, the channel on YouTube that covers hoops and heroes. And today we're talking hoops. We talking about San Antonio Spurs, y'all. But if I have to specify, we're talking about the Spurs fan base that is freaking out, man. Freaking out for no reason in particular. There's a lot of people calling for the Spurs to fire Greg Popovich. Are you guys crazy or something? So I had to make this video. 3 reasons why that rhetoric is ridiculous, man. I'm telling you, man, if you want to fire Greg Popovich from the Spurs right this moment for the way they played against Utah, the #1 team in the West, you're crazy, man. You're straight up crazy. You're crazier than Doc Brown is about time travel.
What did I tell you? 88 miles per hour!
These folks are crazier than the Hulk was before he joined the Avengers. By the time they got to that movie, he definitely mellowed out a lot. But back to the video. These folks are crazier than Darth Vader was after he heard Padme died. These fans are crazier than Black Panther's strength against that rhino. Man, y'all get what I'm trying to say, man. Y'all are tripping with a capital T. But before I jump too deep into it, if you like my content, please sub to the channel. Okay, I'll jump straight into it, man. My first reason why this is a ridiculous idea to fire Pop, and it's not necessarily from the organization. I haven't heard anything. This is just from people on the internet, you know, is because the Spurs don't have the talent. You get what I'm saying? It's not like the Spurs have talent and are having underwhelming performances. Top to bottom, the Spurs do not have the all-star superstar talent you need in the Western Conference. You get what I'm saying? They have DeMar DeRozan, which I feel like in a lot of cases is underrated. I feel like he should have been an all-star this year, but if we're being technical, he hasn't been an all-star for a few years. So the Spurs haven't had an all-star in 3 or 4 seasons. Okay, so that tells us right there we're already behind the curve. If you think about teams like Portland, for instance, that's usually on the bottom half of the Western Conference. Hey, they got Dame Lillard. You get what I'm saying? McCullough. Those cats are really, you know, top-notch all-star players. You see what I'm saying? And even they struggle in the West. I think people forget what it takes to be relevant in the West to compete for championships. Hell, think about OKC. They had Durant, Harden, and Westbrook, and they still couldn't get it done. They had Westbrook averaging triple doubles and had Steven Adams backing him up and had all these other pieces, and they were still like number 6 in the West, number 6, number 7 in the West. You gotta have the talent. You see what I'm saying? And you gotta have the coaching with the talent, and you gotta have the pieces with the talent. The Spurs have the coaching, they have the pieces, they just don't have the talent. Think about New Orleans back in the day. New Orleans had Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins, and didn't do a damn thing in the Western Conference ever. So even if we do get that great pick, that great lottery pick, that's still not a guarantee because you have so much competition in the West. You gotta have, in most cases, a top 5 talent in the NBA and a lot of pieces to make things work. Look at the Golden State Warriors. Steph Curry is playing bananas, out his mind, playing like the best point guard in the league, and they might not even make the playoffs. So how do we blame Pop for some foolishness like that? We don't have the talent. So that's my #1 reason. Okay, I hear you. I hear you complaining about what I have to say. We gotta get someone better. We gotta get someone to play the young guys. We gotta get someone to do this. We gotta get someone to do that. Okay, let's say you're 1,000% right. We need to get rid of Greg Popovich. This is the question that no one could really answer with a definite answer, with a concrete answer. If we get rid of Greg Popovich, who do we replace him with? Who? What coach out here can definitively blow Greg Popovich out the water to make this transition worth it. You get what I'm saying? What coach out there can turn us from a 10 seed into a 3 seed overnight? That's just that much better than Greg Popovich. You can't name anyone. You see what I'm saying? And see, that's what we forget as sports fans. That's what we forget as Spurs fans in particular. People say this about players. Oh, let's get rid of Murray. He can't shoot threes. Let's get rid of White. He's injury prone. Let's get rid of Lonnie. He's inconsistent. Who do we replace these players with? Same thing with DeRozan. Oh, let's get rid of DeRozan. He's not that guy. He's not a franchise player. He's not this. He's not that. Well, who do we replace him with? Who is a free agent in the summer that's going to be willing to come to the San Antonio Spurs? What coach is going to be willing to come to the San Antonio Spurs that's going to be greater than Greg Popovich? It's not many, man. It's not many. Now, don't misunderstand me now. I'm not sitting here saying Popovich is perfect. I'm not sitting here saying he doesn't make mistakes. Because that lob from the other night, oh my gosh, I can't remember the team at the moment, but he had a lob play at the end of the game. That was terrible. All right. He's definitely not perfect. He could definitely give the young guys a little bit more rope, a little bit more leeway, a little bit more time on the court to develop. He does stick to veterans a little too long for me sometimes. He is definitely not perfect. But don't misunderstand me when I say you want to fire him is ridiculous. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's the perfect coach, but you have to think about it. Are his mistakes fire-worthy? Fire-worthy, did I say that right? Are his mistakes worth him getting fired? That's what I'm saying. And I just don't think they are. Especially when you look at the first point that we don't really have the talent. It's one thing to have the talent and do nothing with it, but is another thing for us not really to have the talent in the first place. You get what I'm saying? You can't work with something that's not there. So again, if you disagree with my first and second point, you got to think about this. Who we going to replace him with, y'all? Who we going to replace him with? And that's what you really have to think about. And my final reason that I want to stress, and I want you to hear me when I say this. Everyone turn up your volume. He's Greg Popovich. You get what I'm saying? You don't fire Greg Popovich. I don't care if he's slowing down. I don't care if he has amnesia. I don't care if he's, eating donuts on the side of the daggone bench. I don't give a crap what he does. He's Greg Popovich. You don't fire Greg Popovich. Not no San Antonio organization fire Greg Popovich. Greg Popovich retires. We owe him that. 5 championships, baby. Almost 20 years of making the playoffs. Dear God. You see what I'm saying? Doesn't he deserve the benefit of the doubt? Doesn't he deserve an opportunity to go out on his own accord to retire with some dignity? We're going to fire Greg Popovich? Just listen to that. Just listen to that. We're going to fire one of the greatest coaches of all time because he's slower. He's not as accurate as he used to be. His way isn't perfect anymore. We're going to fire him to bring in some rookie coach or someone wet behind the ears or someone inexperienced that's not really going to help the team. We're going to fire our greatest coach of all time in history, NBA history, basketball history, Spurs history. We're going to fire this guy, man. For my real basketball fans, think about your boy Don Nelson. Don Nelson, man. With the Mavs. You don't fire Don Nelson. Don Nelson was just sitting on the bench smiling, man. His coaching style was through them last couple years, especially that last year. You don't fire Don Nelson. You let Don Nelson take a victory lap and go home in retirement. So damn it, that's what we're going to do with Popovich. Even if you feel like he's not doing it or he's not cutting it anymore, which I disagree with, and you can tell my first 2 points why. But even if you feel that way, we owe this man. We owe this man. Let him ride off in the sunset. Hell, he only going to coach for a couple more years. Let him have that. Let him have his dignity. I wish the Spurs organization would try to fire this man. No, sir. No, sir. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Just had to go on a little rant because when I hear people say fire Pop, it is amazing to me. It is absolutely amazing to me that we as a fan base could be that slow. I'm just going to be honest with you. Be that slow. Fire Greg Popovich. Really? Really, y'all? Get out of here, man. Alright guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for kicking it with me. Check out the other videos on the channel. And don't forget, if you like superheroes, check out my superhero playlist. That's going down as well. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.